Okay, I'll call to order the Citizens Advisory Committee for Measure Z, Thursday, December 4th. Please join me for the flag salute.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Good afternoon, Chair. Welcome back, committee. It's good to see everybody again. We'll go ahead and start on the dais and go right to left. Ms. Miller?
Here.
Ms. Campbell?
Here.
Ms. Trent?
Here.
Sheriff?
Here.
Chief Pape? Here. Mr. Feuerbend?
Here.
Ms. Long?
Here.
Ms. Titus?
Here.
And online is Mr. Cole. Mr.
Present.
Cole, are you here?
Present.
All right. And I understand you are attending remotely today. Can you please state the nature of the reason to attend remotely and if there's anybody else who's in the room with you?
There's nobody else in the room with me. I'm caretaking a family member after they're recovered from a stroke.
All right. Thank you very much. And if you all remember, pursuant to, I think, Assembly Bill 1449, committee members can attend remotely twice per calendar year. There are 4 different circumstances under which you can attend remotely. So that was the reason for some of that. Back to you, Chair.
Thank you. Do we have any modifications to the agenda? None? Okay. Next item is approval of the prior meeting's minutes, approval of March 6, 2025 action summary.
Motion to approve the minutes from March 6, 2025.
Second. Double second.
And do we need to do roll call on everything since we do have somebody on Zoom?
I think we can just, for items like this, we can just ask for unanimous yes, and if there's any no's, I think that'd be all
Okay.
right.
All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Any objections? Any abstain? Okay. City Administrative Office updates.
We got to make sure to go to public comment also, Chair. Sorry about that.
Oh.
Trying to get back in the groove of things. Then we'll move on to public comment on non-agenda items after that.
Oh, I missed one, sorry.
It's all right.
Public comment on non-agenda items. Anybody have any public comments?
And we have none on Zoom either.
Okay. Seeing none, we'll go to County Administrative Office updates.
All right. Thank you for that. And again, it's good to see everybody. Couple updates for you all. First, just want to first introduce our new staff member, Kelsey Yonker, who is behind the screens back there. She is our analyst in the management and budget team for our office. Her chief duties are helping us to administer Measure Z and Measure O. As you all know, Measure Z has needed some attention for a long time. There's been kind of minimal administrative support aside from getting these meetings done and doing the math on the finances piece. And so Kelsey will be doing a lot of the qualitative work around the reports, making sure our websites are up to date, handling the agendas, things like that. So hopefully we can do a good job of providing a little bit more analysis on what Measure Z is doing in the community and provide some of that information to you all, which is much needed. The second topic is to discuss what we typically discuss at this time of year, and that is the prior year fiscal end, where we can take a look at what the actual revenues and expenditures were, and we get a look ahead to the next year and what you all may have available to recommend to the board of supervisors. And so with that, I do have a PowerPoint. I don't know if we can get that up onto the screen. There it is. And that would be, all right, we have Deputy County Administrative Officer Jessica Maciel here, who has been doing all of the work on the finance piece in the back end to talk about this item.
Good afternoon, Measure Z Committee. Good to see you all again. So quickly, I will just say revenue has been coming in very close to projections. So we were roughly $119,000 over revenue projections in 24-25. On the expenditure front, with the spending plan, we are coming in with much less savings year over year as county departments are having to absorb increasing costs. So the savings are about $512,000. You'll see it was 2.6 million, but there was just over 2 million in carry forward requests. So of which was mostly the fire carry forward request. And then the final piece available to you all next year per the board action is the what was previously the public works allocation. In the current year, they chose to give a small portion to fire and a small portion to the city of Trinidad for infrastructure work. And then split the rest among county departments that had fixed allocations, but also gave us direction in the next year to give that to the application process. So that is the 400,000 on there. That lands at about 1.5 million to be available to you all, which includes the revenue projected above the spending plan of 500,000. The one note I will make is that we are not done posting expenditures to fiscal year 24-25 yet, so it is very likely there could be some true up, and that number will change a little bit before January, and we'll have the updated number for you when you go into the application process. And I'm happy to answer any questions on the finance front.
Any questions from the committee?
And I'll just add to that. As you'll remember, last year there was $1.3 million available to the committee this year, and with the true-up process, that $1.5 million is not finalized. We'll see what it comes in at. But one thing I want to stress at this meeting is how the work that this committee has done over the last several years has really helped to stabilize the amount of money that is available for Measure Z agencies. Having a consistent, sizable pot of money to be able to apply for applications, as well as to provide to agencies that have consistently ranked at the top of your priority list, has proved, in my opinion, to be a stabilizing force. Lastly, just a little bit of insider baseball on the finance piece. This year, we changed our accounting on Measure Z. In prior years, Measure Z was in the general fund. It was Fund 1100. That is our finance code for where that money lived. And in order to track the fund balance available, the revenue that came in over and under expenditures in prior years, we were having to do a lot of spreadsheet work. And this year, even though this is a general fund, our board and the auditor controller approved us putting that into a separate fund. So that activity, Measure Z activity, while it is a general fund, it is tracked separately. So in our finance system, that is available for reporting very easily. That'll help for the longevity of us. So if we have staff turnover, people don't have to dig through our spreadsheets and figure out what the heck is going on. They can find that there. And it also speaks to just in my opinion, the intent that the board has expressed and this committee has expressed to make sure that this funding is dedicated for these purposes, even though it is technically a general fund. We're doing the same thing with Measure O, where that lives in a separate fund as well. So that's just another kind of piece that has grown out of the work that this committee has done to make sure that this taxpayer funds are spent on the purposes that the voters approved. That's all I have for that item. Sure.
I do have a
you.
quick
Yeah.
question, sir. Can you speak in a little more detail about the the carry forward requests?
I'm happy to speak to the carry forward requests. There are 3 carry forward requests. One was anticipated going into budget season. It's $200,000 for the public defender. It has been carried over for a number of years. It was approved. I'm not even sure which year it was approved in, to be honest. And it is for a software upgrade to their case management software. The second request, the second carry forward request was for Public Works. They just had a timing issue with delivery of equipment that they ordered. It was about $360,000. So they had to carry forward their amount from last year's allocation for that purpose. And then the final carry forward request was for fire. It was about 1.5 million this year. They carry forward almost every year of their carry forward, and this is off the top of my head, so bear with me a little bit. Eight, I think it was like around 1 million was for already encumbered processed orders that just have not come in. The remainder was unencumbered.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the committee? Do we need to do public comment for this item? Okay, open
Sure.
public comment. Anybody have any public comments? Seeing none. So there's no action on this. So then we'll move to approval of the Measure Z calendar.
There's an item right before that, G1, I believe, selection of the chair and vice chair.
Boy, I'm just skipping along, aren't I? Thank you. Okay, selection of chair and vice chair. So do we do them together or do them separately?
Yeah, so that's, typically every year your committee appoint or decides on a chair and vice chair to serve for the year. I believe last year they were done separately. There was a motion for a vice chair and a chair. It's up to your committee if you want to do a chair and vice chair together separately. The second piece I do want to mention to you all as well is that in looking back at the resolution to establish the committee, while a chair and a vice chair is required, there was no time element associated with it. So the chair and vice chair could serve for a year, 2 years, whatever is the prerogative of the committee. So it's up to you in a number of ways.
Okay. Does the committee want to do a 2-year? So we don't vote for this every year, or do you want to vote for it every year?
I have an opinion. You might be shocked. Okay. I think we should rotate every year, and I think the vice chair should take over the chair spot, and then rotate a new vice chair in for the next year. That's
Okay.
my opinion. So.
Does anybody else have any opinions?
I don't really think that matters. I think we could do both of them every year. Just depends on who feels qualified and who has run meetings before.
That's,
I would agree with that. I don't think having one 2 years in a row, or if it's every other year, makes a difference. All depends on the ability to do it, run the meeting correctly, right? That's one that we want to avoid, is doing something incorrectly.
I personally like a 2-year because it takes almost a year to get used to doing the job. But
I agree with
that's, it's up to the committee.
Mr. Cole has a comment.
Okay.
I've been happy with the process that we've been using so far as reviewing it every year, as well as doing them separate for chair and vice chair. It allows the opportunity for somebody, if they are nominated for vice chair and they realize that that is not a position, the chair is not a position for them, but they want to support, it allows room for that. And I think that has value. So I'd like to kind of continue as we have been.
Okay. So then I guess we kind of need to vote on this because we've got a lot of different opinions. Okay, so we have a couple of options. We can do 2-year or we can do 1 year. So I guess, do we just,
You could take a motion on this if you'd like, or somebody can make a motion on who they would like to serve in those roles, and as part of that motion to say for 1 year or 2 years.
okay,
I would make a motion that we have a vote for chair and vice chair every year, and the chair, whoever's the chair, can put their hat in the ring to serve another year if they want. But I vote that we also move nominations forward, and whoever would want to be chair or vice chair, I think you should volunteer for it.
okay.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Okay, so then I guess we'll start with chair.
Oh.
Isn't there a motion on the floor?
Second.
The what?
I think Dylan seconded the motion.
Okay,
Yeah. Second
Okay.
the motion to have the vote, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yes.
Okay, that one passes. So then we'll move on to selection of the chair.
I'll make a motion that Tammy Trent be chair.
I second that. I second.
Okay.
Any other nominations?
And before we vote, we've got to make sure to go out to public comment, Chair.
Okay, do we have any public comment on this item? Okay, seeing none, so we'll go for a vote. Does it have to be roll call for this one or still voice vote?
Let's go and do roll call for this one.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll start left to right. Ms. Titus?
Yes.
Ms. Long?
Yes.
Mr. Fierben?
Yes.
Pape? Sheriff?
Yes.
Ms. Trent?
Yes?
Ms. Campbell?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
And Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Okay. The next one would be vice chair, and I would nominate Dylan for that one. I second. Any other nominations? Okay.
All right. And we'll go the other way this time. Mr. Cole? Oh,
Yes.
sorry. Let's go to public comment again, Chair.
Oh, okay. Anyone like to public comment? Seeing none?
All right. Thank you. Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Ms. Campbell?
Yes.
Ms. Trent?
Yes?
Sheriff?
Yes.
Chief Pape? Mr. Fierben?
Yes.
Ms. Long?
Yes.
And Ms. Titus?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
That was easy. That's so nice.
Okay, now try not to skip the next one. Approval of Measure Z calendar.
Yeah, so this is the annual approval of the Measure Z calendar for the year ahead. This would set our next meeting date for Thursday, January 15th. We would open the application period for next year the day after. It would be open for 4 weeks until February 13th, I believe. And then staff would then prepare the application packets and get them to your committee the week of the 16th. And then your committee would start its work on the week, February 26th, I believe. The calendar also tentatively sets dates for the following 4 weeks, I believe, so through the end of March. And it sets that fall date for November.
Okay, does this calendar work for everybody, these dates?
Generally, Thursdays work well this time. Everything? Okay.
Okay, do we have, I have to do public comment. Oh, I didn't forget this time. Any public comment on this item? Seeing none, so do we have a motion to,
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second. Go ahead. Go ahead, you got it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yes.
Any opposed? Okay, that one passes too. Okay. Discussion on 3-year spending plan for fiscal year 27-28 through 29-30.
All right. Thank you for that. And if we could put back on the screen.
Sean, you need to share it again because
Oh.
I had to stop sharing.
Okay,
Sorry.
that's all right. There we go. All right, so if you will remember, several years ago, this committee did a lot of work to address the issue of kind of overexpending Measure Z and also making sure that we had money available to provide for annual applications. To that end, the board, the committee recommended to the board that we establish a 3-year spending plan that's set against $12.5 million in annual expenditures. There is a piece of the spending plan that goes to community partners, mentioned here, and there's a piece of the spending plan that goes to county agencies. One of the goals of this was to ensure that there was about 70% of the funding, ongoing funding, or annual funding, sorry, that goes to county agencies and the rest available for community partners. Right now, I think in 25, 26, we're around 75, 78%, something like that. So that number will fluctuate with the amount that's available every year. But providing these set allocations every year helps us to ensure that there is money available for those annual application processes. This spending plan goes through 26, 27. So that'll be this next fiscal year. And the reason why this item is coming to your committee now is because you have expressed an interest in getting involved in the process to determine the next spending plan. And so that's why I wanted to bring this to you now. Again, I will reiterate that the spending plan has been a really powerful tool in stabilizing Measure Z, making sure that agencies know that they have funding available every year. There's never enough funding for anybody, but this is a pretty powerful tool to provide a substantial amount of funding. Looking ahead, if we look at the Measure Z revenue over the last 3 years, you'll see right here in the middle there, the orange line is the actual revenue that we have received every year. You'll see that big jump in 2020. That was the COVID jump, and that really kind of messed everything out. But the blue line is our projections. We want to make sure that the blue line stays below the orange line. Otherwise, we get out beyond our skis and we get into a lot of issues where we have to deallocate things or make really hard decisions. The last 3 years, our actual revenue has been flat, about $13 million every year. And that's what we've been projecting as well these last 2 years for revenue. Going into the future, things are uncertain as always, probably more uncertain than most, in particular because of, from our perspective, Measure O, it's the 1 cent road tax that was approved this year, or last year, went into effect April 1 this year. We still don't know what the compounding effect of these taxes will be. I will say that the first 3 months of Measure O revenues have come in on target. And what that means is that we projected Measure O revenues at a little bit of a decreased amount. You know, you could look at Measure O or Measure Z, that's a half-cent sales tax. If you could just straight double it and say that's what our revenues are. We took that, we doubled it, and then peeled it back a little bit. So with the peel back, the revenues are on track. So looking forward to Measure Z, we might expect a little bit of a peel back going out into the future. So it's a long way of saying, as we look forward to the next spending plan, it's very unlikely that we are going to project additional revenue to provide additional ongoing expenditures. So my ask of this committee is, what process do you want to take to come to a new recommendation on this spending plan? Some options are that staff can come back in January with some of this gamed out and say, this is what we think would be a good recommendation to provide to the board, along with the application recommendations in April. We can do some study sessions like we did a couple years ago. That was a really painstaking process to do, but it proved really fruitful. You all can ask additional information that we bring back in January as well. Or do you want to punt this off and, you know, take on this process next year or even after the application process is done? I would really like to have this conversation settled before we get into next year, because it gives us time to plan. So with that, I'll turn it back to you, Chair.
Look like you.
Yeah, I have a comment. Thank you, Chair. I appreciate you. Thank you. Yeah, I think this is a really something that I believe should be a working group. I think I would recommend the chair and vice chair work with the CAO's office on a plan to present to the Measure Z committee in January, if that's, you know, if that is possible. I know it's a tight timeline, but if Dylan and Tammy are up for it and being our representatives, I think that would be a good thing for something to bring back.
Yeah, and through the chair, that's definitely something that we can do. And this is one of the additional benefits of having staff available. They can help us do some of this analysis that really can help sustain Measure Z into the long run. That's definitely something that we can do over the next month.
Okay, does anyone else have any comments on this?
Yeah, I got a comment.
Okay,
Yeah, I think speaking for the non-county agencies, they'd probably appreciate that working group reaching out and at least knowing what's on the docket for coming up for that spending plan.
Okay.
okay,
All right.
okay.
So maybe we can.
Does the committee all agree on that? Everybody in favor say yes?
I do have a quick question from Zoom. Due to the kind of the expediency of our process now with the limited number of applications, or how we've been able to complete the process pretty early in March, I'd like to have this discussion as part of this year's meetings and that March schedule, where we're able to hear back from any working group and really have a chance to discuss it as a committee as a whole, to try to move this along within this year.
So this is, if we wanted to take the motion that's on the table and provide a working group to work with our office over the next few weeks, this is something that we could bring back in January and have that discussion. When we get into the March timeframe, that is when a lot of our budget processes are going. And so it would be, we could definitely do that, Mr. Cole. It would be probably, staff would probably have more time between now and January.
That's fair. I was looking, at the calendar. We have all of these dates blanked out in March, and it's been rare that we have needed those that time. And I feel like this, I support the working group, but I feel this needs to be something that's in front of the committee as well.
I have a question, comment. So what you're saying is your proposal is that the chair and the vice chair work on the budget. Is that what you're saying? And bring that back to the rest of the committee?
No, that the chair and vice chair work with the CAO and their budget group on coming up with a plan or some things for us to consider at the Measure Z board. So to bring it back in January for our meeting of what would our options be at that point in time to consider.
And if we don't agree with some of their recommendations, then where do we go from there?
It would just be debated in this board here. I mean, that's, if we don't want to make recommendations, or if we do want to make, it's going to be decided then in January what we want to do as far as provide our influence to the board to make their next 3-year plan or a 5-year plan, whatever we would suggest.
Yeah. And any information that we present, if we feel like it's not sufficient as a whole, and there's more detail that's asked, or, given the time constraint, then we can do that at that time, right? January meeting, then we say, hey, we'd like a little more information here, here, and here. Let's come back and discuss it again. So by no means, I don't think, are we tying ourselves down to making a decision in January. It's just trying to provide a better picture for us to move forward as a whole and as a group.
Okay, thank you.
And through the chair, if there are any parameters that this committee wants to give to the working group, for instance, like you just mentioned, Sheriff, if you want to see options for a 3-year and a 5-year spending plan, if you want to see options for providing additional funding for other agencies, this is the time to provide some of those parameters to a working group like that.
We could work on several different plans, too. Does that sound all okay to the committee?
Yeah.
We just need a motion, public comment, and all that.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. Do I need public comment on this? Any public comment on this? Russ, you're not saying much.
I'm thinking about walking out so you guys can quit asking the question.
Okay. All in favor, or do we have a motion?
Just need to know who made the motion second.
Okay,
There
it's somebody
wasn't
want,
any.
go, okay.
I'll make the motion to have the chair and vice chair work with the CAO budget group to come up with some considerations in our January meeting.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay,
Nick was, I didn't hear that.
That was a yes from me.
Yes, okay.
okay, so is that everything? Okay,
I believe that's everything, Chair.
that's it?
Yep.
Okay, meeting adjourned. I like fast meetings.
Everything went in 2 days ago.